Hello Ratbags, it's Jade Plays Games with the news and information you're desperate to hear if you're an ARK Survival Evolved fan. Extinction is coming to a console, Xbox One and PS4, supposedly on time after the first delay. It was re-released, rescheduled for the 13th of November, and it looks like it's going to be approaching at 10 AM PST time, which is around 6 PM UK time. Now, we've been here before. There's lots of times they've mentioned and said that the game will be releasing on a certain time or DLC or updates, and it just hasn't hit it. But supposedly it's gone through certification. They've just got to get it through tomorrow. They know exactly what type of build it's going to be. That's the next crucial answer I'm going to be giving you guys. What type of game are you going to be getting with Extinction? If you don't know, on PC, they have had a bunch of problems since it launched last week. Wildcard, as they should be, have been responding to people a lot more on different social media, including the lead creator of the newest DLC, Chris Willoughby. He's been on Reddit answering a bunch of questions to do with how stable the next build is going to be for console. And to be honest, it's a little better than I thought, but it's still pretty rough. On official servers, you won't have the problem with your bases disappearing. This is what's been happening on PC. People spent literally days building up their bases only to come online and find they'd all gone because they were too close to something called an element vein. And this element vein is a new resource that you'll craft and gather items from. Now, I don't want to reveal too much here for spoilers' sake, just in case you have been avoiding YouTube in general with people playing it on PC, but it was a massive problem. So many people were complaining about the fact it was causing bases to disappear, and then the bags that were being left behind were decaying. So that has hopefully been fixed, but they haven't actually implemented it properly back in. So at the moment on Extinction, as far as I know, unless they've patched it today, you can't go and harvest any element vein while they take the item out. It should be coming back in if it's not already in already, but for console, Xbox One, PS4, you will not have that same issue. Now, there are a few exceptions. It looks like if you're going to be playing ARK Extinction on single player on Xbox, you're going to be okay. You don't have to worry about your bases disappearing after you start building. On PS4, I would advise you not to play single player, or at least don't build any bases out in the wastelands until they've fixed it. Judging by these replies on Reddit, they're not going to be able to hotfix it to fix that one issue until Wednesday. So pretty much a day later. From judging what he said here, they got through a lot of the hotfixes for console. So it's going to work on official servers if you're playing official servers on Xbox, or if you're renting your own servers on Xbox or PS4, you will be able to not worry so much about going around and building your bases. They won't disappear. But I can't stress it enough. If you're building bases on PS4, be careful in single player. Make sure you get that patch on Wednesday before you go out to the wastelands or you go anywhere where there might be any element vein. There are other issues and problems affecting PC as well, but they'll probably be a bit too numerous to mention. But a key feature as well is the loot crate situation or loot box situation with the gacha. The gacha is basically a loot box. You put some snow owl pellets into it, you feed it, and it will give you some high-end loot. Now, this has been nerfed on PC already. I told you guys about this, the biggest nerf in ARK history, because so many of the creatures, so many items got nerfs because it was just way too overpowered, apparently. I am starting to think maybe it wasn't too overpowered. Extinction's hard, guys. It's one of the hardest maps I think I've tried with ARK Survival Evolved. So the idea of having this OP loot, I think we're going to need it. Anyway, if you're getting it on Xbox or PS4, you're running on official servers, particularly PvP, you might want to go and get a gacha and a snow owl straight away and test it for yourself if the OP loot is still been fixed. I'm going to be doing a patch notes video tomorrow. I'll show you guys exactly what's going on. In fact, I'll probably do it in a live stream. I'm going to be here from about 4 PM UK time, 8 AM PST time, building up to Extinction, showing you stuff. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask me in chat and I'll give you all the information you need to know. I have got servers running for Xbox One, PS4 and PC, all supported by THREADRIPPER, the official sponsors of the servers on ARK Survival Evolved. So if you want to join that, go and check out my Patreon page. It's in the description down below. But yeah, there's lots of other little fixes, lots of other issues. I'm going to go through them and see what actually got put it into the launch patch or launch version of the DLC on console and what's coming in a later patch. It's not a very good look for Extinction. I don't think this is exactly what they wanted when they launched this, and I'm sure they didn't really plan on it. However, it's again another example of poor planning by Wildcard. This seems to happen to them more than any other game developer I've ever followed, and it just stinks laziness. It stinks of poor planning and not enough resources and money. I'm not going to go too ranty about it, I just want to give you a quick heads up. I will be talking about my first impressions of the DLC at the end of this video. That hasn't stopped ARK Survival Evolved being the most played it's ever been. Currently on Steam, and some of the devs have been crowing about it on social media. ARK has got its highest player spike it's ever had. 106,000 players logged in on Steam to try Extinction out. That beats massively Aberration. It also beats the launch of ARK, and it's about 6,000 more players than when the tech tier stuff got released just after Christmas in 2017, or when we first found out about some of that stuff. You can see the drops that I'm going through right now, 1 year growth. You can see how pretty much ARK was on its worst footing before Extinction came out. The lowest amount of players it's ever had played a game on a weekly basis or a daily basis, and the spike that's gone up is incredible. It's not that incredible though, because when you think about ARK being on sale for 3 years now, 3.5 nearly, the fact this is the third DLC, it's been on sale numerous times, it's also been on sale for the season pass, there should be no reason why it doesn't have the biggest spike it's ever had. The question is, are we happy with it? And I've seen so many negative comments. I've also seen a few positive ones. So I'm going to give you my rundown of what I think about Extinction. I think Extinction is probably what I thought it was going to be. It's going to be a real mix of everything that's made ARK what it is. Fantastic large open biomes, lots of choice in dinosaurs and creatures that you can tame. There is one crucial difference though. You are all hemmed into the sanctuary city in the middle of the map. It is your home. It's quite large, it's quite big. It doesn't offer as many, I'd say, nicer spots to build or places to set up base as in previous maps. You're not going to find obviously a redwood forest. It's all very city aspects. You've got these giant massive beams of steel going up into the sky, which can be nice, and it's nice to build on some of these. But I still think the location wise, the way that the backdrop is, I still prefer lots of places on the island or the centre map or previous maps in the past. Sanctuary does offer a nice sort of starting area though. If you're brand new to ARK, it'll be pretty interesting to see how people get on, because it's still filled with loads of dinosaurs that are carnivorous. You're going to have loads of T-Rexes, loads of Carnotaurs, spiders, all sorts of them creatures are going to be running around what is supposed to be the safe area. What it is safe from is the corrupted. Now the corrupted run around the wastelands. The corrupted are OP as hell. This is why I was saying that you maybe need some of that OP loot to just get through it. If you haven't got a flyer and you're trying to get through the wastelands, you're in trouble. So my top tip is to get yourself a flyer straight away as possible if you're going to be exploring the other biomes. Now the other biomes obviously come under the form of a dome, and they're meant to be one specific area that you'll go in, get resources, and maybe try and summon and fight the Titan boss. All three of these biomes have a specific cave that you go through, filled with lots of creatures that you're going to have to fight before finally being able to summon it, and you're going to need tributes just like you have in the past. Now these biomes are literally cut-ups of ARK in the past. You've got the biome that's underground, which is like a mash-up of Aberration and lots of trees, but all underground. You've then got the Scorched Earth style version, and it's literally just Scorched Earth, but in a dome shape. And then you've got what is the Snow biome, which is kind of a mix of, like, you know, the centre map, the island, and Ragnarok snow biomes all into one. I'm disappointed that we haven't got as much variation. There's lots of pretty spots in these areas, but they're going to be more dangerous to build in. You could at any point have a Titan spawn in because another tribe has spawned one in on official, and you'll be in trouble because them Titans can go around destroying your base. For single player, it's not going to be so much a problem. You can maybe work for stuff, make sure you prep before you call a Titan in, and for servers where you've got certain settings set up, then it won't be an issue. You can go ahead and build your base in the snow biome, go and build your base in Scorched Earth, but the idea is that you go to these areas, you get what you need in terms of either creatures, items, resources, and then you come back to Sanctuary, the middle part of the map, and that's where your base normally might be. You cannot build in the wastelands. If you try building the wastelands, you are going to get absolutely fucked. The corrupted are just OP. There's so many of them spawn. They will eat through metal, they'll eat through tech tier, they will destroy your base if you leave it there too long. Already the PvPers, who surprisingly, considering they're meant to be PvPers, I swear down they cry the hardest. They cry so much, them big salty tears. No, I'm only joking, I love the PvPers. Well, no, I don't really. But yeah, they have been crying a lot because people are kiting the corrupted dinosaurs over all the time. And you know, that's not necessarily a new thing. That's always happened in ARK. In fact, it happened in PvE a lot before they nerfed it, where you could just kite loads of Brontos to someone's base and get it destroyed. But that is a huge issue at the moment because the corrupted are just really OP. The mech suits were OP to counter that, but they've nerfed them a little bit now, and lots of the creatures were a little bit better buffed, but they've all just been nerfed. Another disappointing feature for me, unfortunately, I'm going through the negatives first, is the lack of creatures. There are no wyverns on the map. There are no tameable wyverns. You can get the fire wyverns, which are called the forest wyverns, which is sort of sub-new species. They're slightly smaller. They'll spawn when you summon in the forest titan, but other than that, other than corrupted wyverns, there are none there for you to go and tame. And I think this is a real issue. There's lots of creatures from Scorched Earth. There are some creatures from Aberration, including Reapers. But add the fact that they're not bringing all the creatures that you would maybe think from all the other maps. There's only 7 real brand new creatures. You've got the Gacha, you've got the Snow Owl, you've got the Managamar, you've got the Gas Bag, then you've got the Scout, and you've got the Enforcer. And that is pretty much it. Oh, pardon me, and the Velonosaur as well. I've got a video talking about them creatures, what I think is the best one out of the living ones, and giving you ranked from worst to best and which ones you should be going for straight away. But again, I'm disappointed. I thought this Extinction DLC was going to be bigger and better than everything before it, and instead we just get 7 creatures. And I know there's mech suits. If you include them, maybe you can push it to 8, but the modifications you put on them, that's not a creature, is it? It's just a modification. And that's what the mechs are as well. You can get miniature small versions of the mechs where you can mod them. You can have them set up a defensive shield or a turret gun or a rocket launcher sort of style gun. It's very underwhelming. If you're someone that loves going and taming lots of creatures and getting new creatures and stuff like that, you'll be disappointed that some creatures haven't made it from Scorched Earth or haven't made it from Aberration or even just the island, and you'll probably be disappointed there isn't enough brand new creatures. They've also recycled a few old systems from Aberration as well. Do you remember the red gems and green gems that you'd get? Well, they're back, but now it's red sap and blue sap, and you're going to be crafting and using a lot of this stuff because you need it. And it's the same sort of thing. You go out there, you're going to have to harvest certain trees to get these resources. I'm basically saying they've recycled a lot. They've recycled a lot of stuff. They haven't really added that much new. The map is good, it's large, it's got some lovely environments, but it still feels just a bit hoggledy. It still feels like it was put together a little bit last minute and maybe not given the full attention it needed. Dino spawns don't look like they're 100% correct in certain areas. The only place that is really 100% I would say fantastic looking and looks to be running okay is Sanctuary, which is the home start area. As soon as you start going out there into the wastelands, you'll find stuff that just isn't working correctly. It's not what I expect from a DLC. You expect that from a game when it's just come out of early access, maybe. You expect that maybe when they're adding something brand new, like a big huge update for free, but this is paid DLC. You pay for this. This isn't a free content we should be just grateful for receiving. This is money we put down towards this DLC coming out. It was delayed months and months and months. It's come out broken, and now it looks like it just doesn't have a lot of content in it. There are some really good points. The orbital drops I think are really going to be fantastic for PvE. If you play that on your own server, on official servers or private ones, you now have something to do with all them dinosaurs you've been storing. Going and taking on the waves is really hard. Maybe a bit too hard, but you need a challenge, you do. The titans themselves are buggy, they're big. Maybe they're not going to be as wanted as some people think. And the ultimate end boss, I don't reveal too much, although you probably have seen it, it's just a bit of a cop-out. I think it's just a huge, massive sponge. You have to defeat it using a massive mech that you construct using the smaller ones, and it's okay. The idea of it being Pacific Rim is probably true. I think something more like Power Rangers is probably more accurate though. It looks a bit janky, it looks a bit cheesy, and it just doesn't necessarily give me that satisfaction I thought I would get. I don't really feel like I've had the ending of ARK. I will leave this tiny spoiler. There is a cliffhanger at the end of ARK. If you haven't seen that already, be warned. It does point to the fact there may be more future ARK incoming. So overall, I'd give Extinction I'd say a 7 out of 10. If I gave, Aberration a 6 or 5 out of 10 because it was so broke when it launched. Extinction's slightly better because the map's mostly playable and there are lots of areas where it's good, whereas Aberration, there was just so many problems when it launched. So I'm keen to play it. I want to try it now without any cheats. Obviously I've been doing it for my videos and guides, and so it might be very different when I'm doing it in single player, and I want to be more fair with it. So that was just my initial impressions. I'm really hoping it's going to change my mind, and I'm going to come out in a week's time, which I'm planning to do, and tell you guys that Extinction is absolutely amazing. And when you really take the time to take it slowly, you really appreciate stuff more. You appreciate the fact that new creatures are going to be maybe a bit more difficult to get hold of, or you'll just like their abilities and it will make it worth it. So hold this space. I'm not shitting on it just yet. I just want to give you a heads up of idea of what I think. I will be giving you a proper full review when I've played it enough on console without any cheats or doing any showcase item stuff. So there you go. That is it. It's coming, guys. 4 PM UK time. 8 AM I'll be here live streaming. We're taking your ARK questions. I'll be trying to show you stuff with Extinction on PC if you need to know anything about it. And then I'll be running up to hopefully giving you guys the info that it's ready to download. We'll keep our eye on Twitter, we'll keep our eye on social media, and I'll be the first person to let you know it's ready to download on Xbox and PS4 with the gig sizes, the exact patch notes, the whole shebang. Don't forget, I'm your #1 source for no clickbait, no bullshit, proper ARK Survival Evolved news. Make sure you like this video, guys. I'm hyped still. I want to see what it's like on console. I can't wait to play my rat bags on the servers. I will see you guys tomorrow.